The return of my forehead. Hi everyone. So I'm just got out of the shower and I'm about to blow dry my hair, and I didn't come here to show off my hair. Actually, I came here to tell you guys a funny story. So, we're gonna go see Tintin, and I'm happy about that. But I messed up. I double booked something today. The first time I've ever done this in my life. Because I rarely, have a lot of things to do. I kind of, keep it simple. But today I'm recording, tonight at 8 o'clock, Movie Talk FM. And we're going to have two guests on the show. Because we usually just have one additional guest sometimes, but we're having two at the same time. What's it called? We've done some podcasts together, and so kind of as a thank you, because Brian appeared on a podcast once, so kind of as a thank you for having me on a couple of times and having Brian that one time, we decided to have them over, because they, to talk movies and stuff. So that's happening at 8 o'clock, so it's going to be 4 people talking about film, so this is kind of epic. But the problem is, at the same time at 8:30, and we will not be done in half an hour, but at the same time at 8:30, we booked a lunch or a dinner with Marie, Rebecca's friend, and yeah, so kind of sucks because we have things overbooked, but I don't know what we're gonna do. I'm now actually thinking maybe we could see if we could push it to a later time, but I don't know how long the podcast is gonna be, so yeah, I feel pretty pissed. But anyway, there's Becca. Wait, that wasn't Becca. There she is. Yeah.
Hi! So we're at the movies again. We're gonna see Tintin. Sorry, you're not in frame at all.
That's okay.
We're gonna see the movie Tintin. And I've never seen the cartoons, but Chris used to watch it when he was little with Lina. So we're excited about it. Sorry.
I just chin you.
I'm still trying to get us both in frame and it's not working. My hands are too little.
We should go inside now.
Okay,
bye. Guys.
Hi, so here's our reviews of Tintin. Go!
Hey everybody! Oh no! Oh god, you guys just saw me. I hate it when I do that. I didn't take a red light, but I wasn't quick enough with my reflexes, so when the yellow happened, it was uncomfortably,
close?
When you get there and you're like, oh, I think I'll make it, and then halfway through you realize, wait a minute, I should have stopped, and then you go. It's kind of like that. It always gets me very uncomfortable. Anyway, hi everybody. Every buns out there, all your buns, all your booties. No, I'm kidding. Hello everyone. We just came back from seeing a movie called Tintin, and Tintin is that CG film that looks amazingly animated because it's actually people in motion capture suits. That was directed by Steven Spielberg and produced by Peter Jackson, the director of the Lord of the Rings films and King Kong. I kind of want to say what I thought of it. It was not as good as the Muppets, but in terms of overall, but they're two different movies. I felt like there was a lot of good stuff and there's a lot of bad stuff. It's really split in the middle. But as a whole, it's a pretty cool movie as a whole. I'm not going to give you a description, but I will say the stuff I like. I did like... oh god, I spit a lot. I did like the effects. The visuals are incredible. Seriously, while you're watching the movie, the CG work combined with the motion capturing is so good that you will seriously think, no, some of these shots had to have actors with makeup. Because the sets are realistic. They made the sets photorealistic. I wouldn't even be surprised if someone lied to me and said they filmed just the backgrounds, I would believe them. And but the characters themselves are phenomenal. They're seriously brilliant, and they look so great. And if you squint at some parts, you're like, oh my god, it looks real. So visually, it's a feast for your eyes. I would recommend the movie alone just to pay attention to the visuals. There's a lot of good stuff. There's one action sequence that I'm not going to spoil, but it's an action sequence where it's all done in one shot. They never turn off the camera, and it's about, a 4-minute, 5-minute sequence, and it's all one shot, one camera, and it's incredible. like, it's seriously the coolest action sequence I've seen this year. And it was freaking phenomenal. And there's a bunch of other cool stuff. I'm just kind of giving you my 2 highlights of the good stuff. But in general, there's a lot of really funny lines. Like, the characters themselves are really fun at times and stuff like that. Now, the bad stuff, I felt the pacing of the movie was really kind of it didn't do it for me. Like, I felt like some parts were really boring. And it just kind of needed to pick up speed, especially at the very beginning. The intro is so slow when it could have been, something else. And also, another highlight I wanted to say, and this will be the last thing I say, is that I felt, really there's only 3 characters, well, really 5, but 2 of them are kind of like only in the movie for some parts, but there's really only 3 characters that really stood out. It was the main character, his sidekick, the captain, and the main bad guy. And even then, those characters aren't
Well, don't forget the dog.
Oh yeah, and the dog, yeah. But
He's
even
totally
then,
a main character.
Yeah, so there's 4, with the 2 that kind of come out sometimes. But in general, I felt like they were very underwhelming at times, like underdeveloped and stuff. And I really think that the film would have definitely benefited from having larger support cast, like even on the villain side, just so you can kind of like, because I think that's key to a movie, having really good characters in it. And this is an adventure movie that's supposed to be like, Indiana Jones and stuff, and yet there's no characters that are memorable. Like, they're kind of forgettable. But you know what? Like, go see. It's a pretty good movie if you're bored one day and if you got some extra cheddar, you know what I'm saying? Some extra cheddar at hand. I would recommend that you go pop it in and you check it out. In 3D, if you like 3D.
So my review is that my favorite character is the dog.
That's
He was so cool. The whole time I was like, Pinky would never do that for me. But the dog was really cool. I probably would have rented the movie though. Like, I don't think it was cool enough that I would have seen it in theater. Because for 3D tickets, it's $14.50 each person.
It's the price of a DVD.
And yeah, and that's so painful. Like, that's so expensive for like 2 hours. But anyway, it was enjoyable, but I would have rented it, and that's pretty much all I have to say. And we're almost home, so I'm gonna go now. Bye. Chris has become an iDevice klepto. Seems like he's settled on the feminine one. What does that say about him? Christmas time. Hi. Whenever I turn on the camera, I'm like, oh my gosh.
It's mating season.
But anyway, I went to the mall with my best friend Marie today. This isn't comfortable. Okay. Anyway, I went to the mall
so
today.
Unflattering image of me. Hey guys.
But Chris didn't go because he had to do the podcast today on Movie Talk FM, the website that he has with his best friend Brian. Well, anyway, I went out with my best friend. And she chooses to remain vlogless though, which, valid lifestyle choice. But anyway, so we were just like doing some Christmas shopping. I didn't actually, you'll be proud of me, I didn't buy anything. Because I'm really horrible at that. I'm like, oh, I'm not going to buy anything.
Butt, by the way. Through your pants.
Shh.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I was like, I'm not going to buy anything, but usually I end up doing it anyway. But I just came for the company today. And I actually didn't buy anything, so that's good. But now I'm home, and Chris did the podcast. Something happened, and he had to be the anchor, I guess, or whatever. Because normally he co-hosts, and today he had to host it. So it went good.
So if you want to see me host the podcast all by myself,
it'll be on Thursdays when it comes up, right?
Yeah.
Today's Wednesday, right?
So
it's up now.
Tomorrow.
It's up now.
Yes, it should be anyway.
So it's movietalkfm.com, and he's also guest hosting with Gamerzitch with a Z tomorrow. But I don't know what's their schedule. When do they upload?
I'm not sure when they post. Just subscribe to it on iTunes or go to gamerzitch.com.
Gamerzitch.com. We'll put them in the description box.
Podcasts today.
So yeah, it's gonna be fun. And now we're just watching Shay like we do every night. And yeah, so we'll come back soon with the question of the day. So, bye-bye.
Hello everyone, it's that time again. Question of the day. With me is Rebecca, the cutie, and with glasses now. And of course there's me. Rank in order, what in your opinion is the best and the least best? What in your opinion is the best and the worst of these 4 pizzerias? And rank them in order from the greatest first, you say that, all the way to the least. It's between Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars, and Papa John's. So I will go first because Becca really has no idea what to do. Out of all those, number 1 is Domino's. And the reason why I say number 1 is Domino's is because I love how Domino's has so much options. So many, like, different options. They have pasta now, which is delicious. They have pizza. They have, like, so many different types of breads, like breadsticks or bread side items. They have sandwiches, like subs and stuff. They have chicken. I mean, there's just, and the toppings are incredible. Like, there's so many different cheeses, so many different ways you could, like, you know, do stuff. I mean, really, the combinations are endless. I think the next thing they need now is, like, salads and stuff like that. And it'll really be, like, yeah. And I could see them doing it, too. Yeah, I could see them doing it, too. Like, they've been really innovating this year. Ever since, like, people complain about their pizza and they've been, like, rebuilding and stuff. So, Domino's, definitely number 1. Number 2 would probably be Papa John's. And the reason I say number 2 for Papa John's is because their garlic parmesan breadsticks are delicious. Their pizza is really good, and they have a lot of nice toppings too. Though sometimes it's kind of like they either make it really good or really bad, in my opinion. It's never just like in the middle. And what's it called? Also, just in general. Oh, and their Cinepies. Oh my God, their Cinepies are so good. Their dessert is delish. So definitely number 2 for Papa John's. Number 3 would be Little Caesars. I love Little Caesars. I think their breadsticks is really good. Their pizza is kind of cheap. It's and they don't deliver, which is kind of a pain in the butt. But like they have really good, like, you know, breadsticks, and oh God, they're crazy bread. And lastly would be Pizza Hut. And I say lastly, but Pizza Hut is still pretty good. I just think they need more stuff on their menu. Like, they used to have so many different types of pizzas, like the stuffed crust and the big New Yorker. I don't know if anyone remembers that. They had a pizza called The Edge, and their tagline was, "Have you been to the edge? And back." And The Edge was a pizza that went the cheese and the toppings went all the way to the crust. So there's no crust, so it's just pizza. Which I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And they really need to bring it back. They need to bring pizza back. You know, Justin Timberlake brought Sexy back. They need to bring pizza back. But it's still good, but it's my least favorite. So that is my order. And now it is Becca's turn. And we're dying of battery.
I would first put Little Caesars because I love their crazy bread. I'll tell you a story about that after if we have enough battery. Then everything else would just be second and whatever. Like, I just, like, throw it in there. Because, like, I don't really care. Like, I do notice a difference, but I'm never like, oh, yeah, that one.
Wait, let me say something really quick. Yeah. I'm going to literally let you talk, but this thing's about to die, so let's just see.
It'll save it when it dies.
Oh, okay.
It won't, like, delete.
I know, but I want to see when it cuts off. It could be right now. No. Okay.
Well, anyway, and the rest is just next because, like, I don't really care. But I'll just tell you a story about the Little Caesars since we're going to die.
Oh, really quick, let me say something. By the way, if you guys want, go ahead and post your response down below, as always. And if you don't, it's not a big deal. Now, back to Becca, until we die.
Well, anyway, when I was in middle school, I wasn't chubby, but I was like 20 pounds more than I am now, which is like normal. I'm still in the normal BMI, but like since I'm really short, I looked a little chunky. Not really chunky, but my face gets like, the first thing that gets fat is my butt and my face, and then everything else stays the same. So it's kind of funny. But anyway, so when I was in middle school, I had really bad eating habits. This is what I had for breakfast.